Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'd just like to say a big thank you for everyone for your beautiful comments, and I really appreciate you taking the time to writing them for me, and I really do enjoy reading them. I wanted to talk to you today about making your own stamps and stencils, and it's very easy. Having your own designs, your own organic designs, really helps to incorporate your own style, and it makes your work totally your own, unique to you. So I wanted to show you some of my stamps that I've made. It might give you some inspiration. Now the stamps, most of the stamps I make from the craft foam. Hang on, I forgot to grab some craft foam. Just a second. Alright, I've got a sheet here. Now, as I said before in some other videos, if you can find the craft foam that's already got the adhesive on one side, that's even better, because then you don't have to use your double-sided tape. That's what I use, because I bought with, well, there wasn't any in the shop that had that when I bought this. So I just used this thin foam to make my stamps, and I also use old book covers. So I just take the book covers, I try and pull off all the, this was a children's book, and I just try and pull off all the plasticky, sticky stuff. Sometimes it's really hard to get it off. Anyway, I use that as my base because it's quite firm and it's quite good. So I use that. I use double-sided tape, and I also use a bit of cardboard or chipboard or whatever you call it. I forgot to pull out that stuff. So I'll just use like a bit of a cereal box, and I use that to make like a little handle. Alright, so I'll show you some of my stamps that I've made. So this one here, you can see you just draw, and I don't know what you do. I also look at pictures, and this here is a piece of corrugated cardboard. You know, it's got the corrugated, and then you can just pull one of the sides off, and then you get the nice lines. That makes a really great stamp. Here's another design that I've cut. I've got 2 big boxes full of them. Oh, this is another stamp that I use. It's from it's a tray that had I don't remember what was in it, a plastic tray, but it's got a really great, as you can see I've been stamping with it, it's got a really great pattern on the bottom, so I'll just get that and stamp away with that, and also keep my stamps in it. These are some of my small ones. As you can see, I just come up with all sorts of different designs, and designs like this you can just keep stamping it and making a repeating pattern. So they're really great. These little ones, you can do all sorts of, as you can see, I just make all sorts of, like a little person. Oh, this was my carving. I bought a lino thing, but I wasn't all that. There's my postage stamp. I think I made a few of them in the end. Them falling out. That's just a square. This is really rough. It's just a square, and it's really roughed up, and oops, there you go, really roughed up, and I just drew a line with a pen to, you know, make an indentation, and that makes quite a neat mark. Just another crazy mark making stamp. And there's a smaller version of the, just to me it's a person, as you can sort of stylized. And another one with just sort of like, I don't know, braille or something. And then you got little, I've got a little tiny swirl one. That's a little one that I haven't finished. So that's some of the small ones. The other thing I also do, of course I've got my bigger ones in here, and that's just a bit of that corrugated cardboard, and I just use it for texture. As you can see, it leaves a really great texture. So I stamp with that. I'll just get my brayer, put the paint on and brayer it, and then press it down. And I've got a big piece of that, like my little one, and that's really, I just really love those. There's a little circle one that I've done. It's a bit of a, I love this one. And this one here is, I've just pressed together, that's another way you can make your base, is I just got the cardboard, doubled it over to make it, you know, a bit more firmer. Put the sticky double-sided tape on there, and then I'll just cut out all these little circles and just arranged them on there. And this is made with two pieces of the foam, and I just used this for like texture. So I've just, with a pen, I've just drawn that design straight onto the what do you call it, the foam, and it makes it a really wonderful texture as well. Stamp's beautiful. So yeah, you can just make that one like that. I've just done a bit of like Japanese or Asian writing. I don't know what sort of writing it is, just pretend writing anyway. Yeah, so that makes a great stamp as well, like a texture. Another little design that I've come up with. Circles, more circles. It's really endless. And it's like a flower. And these are, I made a few of these, and I just sort of did a big design, like a doodled and then cut out the bits and pieces. They make really great. And another one with circles, and then I've just put some of the middle bits back in. And I love my concentric circles, or whatever you call it, I think. This one here is just on cardboard, and then I've just did two different designs on either side. And that works really well too. Oh, these ones are stuck together. Oh, here's another one that I just did on 2 bits of foam, and I just glued the little circle things that I've drawn and cut out, and I just used that and just stamped with it. This one's another little design that I come up with. Another bit of packaging that I use for stamping. Here's another big one of those other ones. And the other thing I make is, this is just a bit of the craft foam, and I just put a bit of paint on and stamp on that, and that, you know, you get that nice splotchy kind of paint on your surface. And don't forget your bubble wrap. That makes great for stamping, for mark making. And this one here, I like this one too. This makes really great texture. It's just, as you can see, I've just done with my pen, just gone in and just, you know, done the, where you just keep drawing and going squirrels and circles and more circles and dots, bit of a leafy, and yeah, that's the craft foam. In the kids section is, you know, you get those blocks, and yeah, I've just sort of carved and cut bits and pieces out of it. I stamped with that as well. Oh, you can also make like stencils with your hot glue. Only thing with that I found, I think you need to press them much, this one's quite thick, press them a bit more flatter, I think. Maybe if I mounted it, it might work better. Might be something to think about. I'll have to try that. I might have to try that actually. More blocks. Squares, funny odd little things that I cut out, and I think this here was, I cut out, that's what it was when I made this one, and then the bits that I cut off I made that one. So yeah, you can really come up with some interesting looking designs. There's another one that I made, a love heart with a bit of a design in there. Oh, that's a bit of, I haven't done anything with. And this is another one that I use. This is really cool too. So I've got two pieces of the craft foam, and the first bit I cut out this design and got the pen and made all those marks around their circles. But when I stamp, what I do is sometimes I press my fingers into those little circle bits, so sometimes you get a bit of a mark in the middle. But if you don't want, you know, you can, and then sometimes I just press a lot flat and you don't get the marks in the middle. So this is just one box. I won't grab all the other ones out, but just to give you some ideas. And with the stencils, I'll just pop this over here. Now that I've pulled everything out everywhere, and I'll show you my stencils and how I make them. Just trying to make a bit of room here. So I've got stencils, of course I've got ones that I've bought, but I also make my stencils. Now I make my stencils mostly from plastic tab dividers. You know, the ones you get for your files that you put in between, you know, when you're sort of sorting them. So I'll get the plastic, these ones are the extra wide ones, plastic tab dividers. I'll get those because they're really cheap. And I bought these ones as well. Numerical indices. There's a big bunch of them in here. So now I've been using these for a long time and they work really well. You've got to be a little bit careful if you make it really, you know, thin where they where you cut them out. But I've got heaps. I just draw them, use my craft knife. I've got a Cricut, so I will do a design on my computer, and then I stick these plastic dividers onto my cutting mat, and I will cut them out. There's one that I've made on my cricket. I've also just cut designs out on cardboard or chipboard, whatever you call it. This is just a cereal box, and then I'll just gessoed one side, the porous side, and these last, I've had this for ages, they last a long time as well. Here's another one that I've made on the cricket. This is made from, I think I bought plastic, I think they were like page, that you can slip, not the thin ones, the page dividers. These were like thicker page protector things, and yeah, because that plastic is quite good. Here's another one that I've just made from, oh, what did I make from? I made this from, it was just copy paper, and it had, I think I had contact on one side, and that's worked really well too. That's lasted me ages. I've had this for a long time. Same thing, when you first use them, just be careful with them. As they paint, I don't really clean them, I just wipe them off when they're finished. And because the paint that goes onto them also makes them stronger. And I'm quite happy for paint to be coming off here onto my whatever I'm doing. I'm quite happy with that, so it doesn't bother me. I'm quite happy when that happens. Here's another one that I've done on my cricket. But you know, it is a bit tedious cutting them out yourself by hand. Here's one that I've just cut out by hand. I've just gone in and I just scribbled, and then yeah, just go in and cut it all out. I like this one actually. This one's been hiding from me. One I've done on my cricket, just like some trees is the design. There's another one. I've had these for ages. These are just the tab dividers. Another one. It's another design for my cricket. Another one that I've done on the cricket. There's another one. There's another one. Here's one that I've cut out from, this is just a cereal packet that I've cut. Another bit of plastic. Oh, it must be a bit of plastic that I've... Oh, that's what it's, shrink. That's what that is. I never, I picked it up from somewhere. Shrink art sheet. And I haven't ever done it. Oh, this is where I keep most of my stencils. When I'm lazy, I just pull them out and chuck them in there. This is just a sport ones. That's one that I've made. That's one that I've just cut out from one of those tab dividers. Just drawn the circles and then just use my craft knife and cut out the design. That's a bought one. It's another one that I've cut out on the cricket. That's one that I've just cut out. Just, you know, your diamond shapes. One I cut out with the cricket. And there's a little one that I've done with the... And it's one that I've cut out by hand. It's just from some of that plastic. I don't know if you can see that one. Can you see that one? Oh, yeah, there. It's just a... I'm not sure what you call that design. It's just diamonds. That's a bought one. One that I've cut out with my cricket. Another one that I've cut out with my cricket. Oh, here's a one that I made with hot glue. Just like a spider cobweb thing. I have to try that again. Where's my other ones? My other ones is the... There's more one that I've cut out with just my craft knife. It's nice and organic. This is just a piece of copy paper with the contact that I've just cut the squares out. And that's one, that's a sheet protector. I mean, not sheet protector, tab divider that I've cut out on my cricket, I think, by the looks of that. So, yeah, you can really, I mean, you can do, if you don't have a machine, you can definitely do it by hand. I have more somewhere. I've been printing, so I think they're underneath all my stuff over there. So yeah, like I said before, when you make your own, come up with your own designs, and it's totally unique, your unique work. And these tab dividers are so cheap to buy. And I haven't had many problems with mine. Mine last. And the do tear doesn't really matter. Some of them, I think this one here's got a little tear in it somewhere there. Most of the time it works anyway. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll just get your clear sticky tape and just put a bit of clear sticky tape over the top or whatever you got, masking tape, and then just cut it out again. I've repaired like that before. So anyway, I was going to show you, I was mucking around and drew a little design just on paper that I've cut out, and I thought I was going to make a stencil with it. So I think what I'm going to do, I guess what I'll do is I'll trace it. I'll trace it onto here, onto my foam, and then I will cut it out. So what I might do is I might trace it, because I don't think you want to watch me tracing it. So what I'll do is I'll just stop the video and I'll trace it and I'll come back. Alright, so I've drawn it out, so I thought I'd just show you. I've just put a mark in all the little bits that I'm going to cut out. So I'll just get my craft knife. Actually first I'm just going to roughly cut it out. And I will just cut it out with scissors. So just like that, it's really easy to cut. And these bits here, I'm just going to cut out with my craft knife. So what I'll do is I'll cut it all out and then I'll be back. Alright, so I've cut it out and I've started cutting out my board. And I just use my craft knife for cutting that out as well. So I just follow the shape. So that's pretty good. I've just got a little bit off there. So that's pretty good, I think. Now I just need my double-sided tape, and I just covered the whole thing. With this double-sided tape. If you have the one with the sticky already on there, then you're laughing. And you can just stick it on there. This end here, I'll just pull it over a bit. Getting stuck to my finger. Just pull that off. I think one more piece will do it. Okay. Line that up. There we go. That's stuck on there. Now the other thing I could do if I want more design is you can get your pen and you can make some marks in there. I will stamp in that with it first to see if I want to do something like that. And I've just cut a bit of, this one might be a bit big actually, I might just cut it a bit smaller. If I cut it like that, and then cut like that, that's plenty. And then I'll just use a bit of masking tape to stick their little tab on. just cutting the sides there so that, yep, and that's not going anywhere. Alright, let me get a bit of ink, not ink, paint, I should say. I just realised all my braids are in the laundry from where I washed them up last night, so I'll just use a brush. So I'll just brush it on this mat. And I'll just get a bit of paper. Might need a bit more paint. Going to use my little, I've got a fine mist water sprayer just to add a little bit of moisture, make it stamp it better. Quite happy with that. Oh, it's turned out good. I like it. And the other thing, like I said, you can go in and do some designs in there with a pen to make, if you want more designs. But no. Actually, that would make really good borders. Right. That's cool. Now the other thing, I'll just pop this away. The other thing I thought I would do is make a stencil. Now I was thinking of, and don't throw this away, what I'll do is I'll end up, when I'm doing jelly prints, I'll put it down and get paint all over it, and then I can just glue it onto a page somewhere. I was thinking of this sort of design, but of course you can't cut that sort of design out, so I might have to have a little play with it, and I'll come back. But I'm thinking of something like this for a stencil as well. So I'll have a bit of a play with it, and I'll come back and show you what I come up with. Alright, so I've had a bit of a mess around. I've come up with this design here. See if you can, actually you can see it. And so the bits that I've sort of coloured in are the bits I'm going to cut out. So this will be my template. So I'll cut it out and then I'll trace it onto here with a Sharpie, and I'll show you that. Alright, so I've come up with a design. And what I'm going to do, I've got my plastic tab sheet, and I'm just going to put it over the top, and I'm just going to trace it onto here, and then I will cut it out with my craft knife, and I'll be back. Alright, so I made two designs here that I cut out onto my tab, whatever you call it. Plastic, what are these ones? These ones were tab white numerical indices. So anyway, it's a bunch in there. I just cut the, they come like this. I can get one out now. So I just cut that off. I cut that off. So now I've got a nice clean stencil, and from the one design I came up with two new designs. So have a play with your designs, and only thing is, remember when you're cutting out what's going to be printed, I have a bit of trouble with that myself, so it's just trial and error kind of thing. Anyway, I thought I'd print these for you. I'm just going to get some, I'll just use this paint that I had out earlier, and I just got a bit of a sponge, and I'm just going to, I might need a little bit more paint, I think. I'm just going to, I don't normally do this, but just for, just going to use a bit of tape just to hold the stencil down onto the paper so it doesn't move around for me. A little bit of water. And I'm just going to stencil this in. So these stencils are a great way to make, you know, your one of a kind, unique stencils for your artwork. So we'll see what they look like. And I'll just use a Sharpie pen just to draw it onto my plastic sheet. Get a little bit more of that paint. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm just going to wipe that off with Inky White. And get another stencil. Look at that. So yeah, that's pretty easy. Yeah, have a go and make your own and see what you come up with. So these are fun little designs to add into your artwork, art journaling, whatever you're doing. Yeah, so have a go and don't throw away your little design. Like I said, you can paint it up and then glue it into your book. Got my other couple ones here that I drew up. I can cut them out. Oh, and that's what I was going to show you. I just had a bit of a play around with the... Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. This this stamp that I made earlier. I just went in with a pen, just an ink pen, biro. I just went in and added a little more markings in there, and I think yeah, might be enough, hopefully enough paint here to stamp again. And I think that just adds a little more to the design by doing that. Yeah, so that's about it, I think. When you're cutting the plastic sheeting, just be careful, of course. It cuts very easily, so you know, just go slowly and carefully. It's not going to be a perfect, like you can see where I've drawn it, and I haven't cut perfectly around it. But I mean, if you want to, that doesn't bother me. I just like it to be all irregular and not perfect. But of course, you can go around carefully and cut much more perfectly if you like. I was probably a little bit better on that one. So go ahead and make some of your own and have some fun. And yeah, happy crafting, guys. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, that'd be wonderful, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.